You keep seeing their name pop up, not in your messages, not in your comments, just in that quiet list of people who viewed your profile once, twice, maybe 5 times this week. And every time you notice it, something stirs inside you. Curiosity, confusion, maybe even a little hope. But here's what you need to understand. This isn't random. When someone keeps checking your profile in silence, never reaching out, never saying a word, there's a reason behind it. And that reason reveals more about what's happening between you than any text message ever could. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share will change the way you see their silence forever. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why they keep coming back to look at you without making contact. You'll know what's really going on in their mind. And more importantly, you'll know what it means for you. Because this pattern, this quiet return, it's telling you something most people never decode. Let's start with the first truth. When someone repeatedly checks your profile without reaching out, they're caught between 2 opposing forces, desire and fear. They want to see you. They want to know what you're doing, who you're with, what you're feeling, but something is holding them back from actually making contact. And here's what makes this so powerful. That internal battle they're fighting is almost always about their own emotions, not yours. Think about it. Have you ever caught yourself doing the same thing? Looking at someone's profile, scrolling through their photos, reading their updates, but never hitting send on that message? What stopped you? Was it pride? Fear of rejection? Uncertainty about how they'd respond? The exact same thing is happening to them right now. Here's the part most people miss. Their silence isn't indifference. It's the opposite. Indifference doesn't check your profile. Indifference doesn't come back again and again to see if anything's changed. When someone keeps looking without speaking, they're actively managing their feelings for you. They're trying to stay close enough to feel connected, but far enough to feel safe. And that distance they're maintaining, it's costing them something. Now, some people believe there's an energetic component to this. Many describe it as a form of spiritual longing. The idea that when someone thinks about you repeatedly, when they seek out your presence, even in digital form, they're creating an invisible thread between your energy and theirs. Whether you believe in that or not, one thing is undeniable. Their attention is focused on you. And attention, sustained attention, always means something. Let me tell you a story. There was someone who noticed the same name appearing in their profile views week after week. No messages, no likes, just that quiet observation. They convinced themselves it meant nothing. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe that person was just bored, scrolling mindlessly. But then one day, months later, that person finally sent a message. And the first thing they said was, "I've been wanting to reach out for so long. I just didn't know how." All those silent visits weren't empty. They were filled with unspoken words, with questions that person didn't know how to ask, with feelings they weren't ready to admit. The profile views were the only way they could stay connected without risking vulnerability. Here's the second truth. Silence is its own language. And what they're saying through their silence is this: I'm not ready, but I'm not gone. They're keeping you in their awareness because some part of them isn't finished with whatever exists between you. Maybe it's an old connection they can't quite let go of. Maybe it's a new attraction they're too afraid to act on. Or maybe it's something more complex, something they themselves don't fully understand yet. But that repeated return to your profile is a form of presence. It's them saying without words, "I still see you." And here's what's important to understand. You don't need to guess what it means. You don't need to analyze every visit, every timestamp, every pattern, because the meaning isn't in their behavior. It's in how you respond to it. Do you let it pull you into confusion? Do you wait by your phone, hoping this time they'll finally speak? Or do you recognize it for what it is? A sign that they're thinking about you, yes, but also a sign that they're stuck, and you don't have to stay stuck with them. Another story. Someone once told me about a person who kept checking their profile for nearly a year. No contact, just that quiet, persistent observation. At first, they felt flattered, then confused, then frustrated. They wanted closure. They wanted an explanation. But eventually they realized something powerful. They didn't need this person to speak. They didn't need validation from someone who couldn't even send a simple message. So, they stopped checking who viewed their profile. They stopped wondering. And something shifted. The moment they let go of needing an answer, they found peace. And interestingly, a few weeks later, that person finally reached out. But by then, it didn't matter anymore. Take a moment and ask yourself this. Why does it matter to you that they keep looking? What are you hoping their silence means? And what would change for you if they never said a word? These aren't small questions. They're the ones that will tell you what you really need to know. Now here's where most people get it wrong. They think the silent checking means the other person doesn't care enough to reach out, but often it means the opposite. It means they care so much that the risk of reaching out feels too big. The fear of rejection, the fear of being misunderstood, the fear of disrupting whatever fragile peace they've built. These fears can be paralyzing, and so they do the only thing that feels safe. They watch from a distance. And then something happens that most people completely miss. The moment you stop making their silence about you and start seeing it as their own struggle, everything changes. You stop waiting. You stop wondering if you did something wrong. You stop analyzing their every move, because you realize their behavior is a reflection of where they are, not where you are. Their silence is about their fear, their hesitation, their internal conflict. It has nothing to do with your worth. So what do you do with this information? Here's what comes next. First, decide what you actually want, not what you think they want, not what you hope they'll eventually do. What do you want? Do you want to reach out to them? Do you want to move on? Do you want to stay open but not obsessed? Get clear on your own needs first. Second, stop checking your profile views obsessively. I know it's tempting, but every time you check, you're feeding the loop of uncertainty. You're giving their silence more power than it deserves. Check once a week if you must, or better yet, stop checking altogether. Third, if you want clarity, ask for it. Send a simple message. No pressure, no expectations. Just, hey, I noticed you've been checking my profile. Is there something you want to talk about? Sometimes the direct approach cuts through weeks of silent tension. And if they don't respond, or if they deflect, you become in your own experience, the less their silent observation will affect you. You'll stop needing their validation because you'll be generating your own sense of worth. Fifth, trust that if something is meant to unfold between you, it will. Not on your timeline, not through your control, but in its own time, if it's real. And if it doesn't, that's information too. It's the universe telling you to invest your energies somewhere else. Here's the truth that sits underneath all of this. Someone checking your profile in silence is a form of attention, yes. But attention without action is just curiosity. It's not commitment. It's not connection. It's not love. And you deserve more than being someone's silent curiosity. You deserve to be someone's clear choice. Silence doesn't erase the space between two people. It just fills it with questions. And you get to decide whether those questions consume you or whether you let them go. You get to decide whether their silence becomes your obsession or just a passing detail in your story. Because at the end of the day, the most important profile you should be focused on is your own. Your life, your growth, your peace. Let them watch from the sidelines if that's what they need to do. But don't stop living while they decide whether they're brave enough to step onto the field. Keep moving, keep growing, and trust that the right people will show up not just in your profile hues, but in your actual life, with words, with presence, with clarity. If this resonated with you, consider reflecting on where you might be giving too much power to someone else's silence. The answer you're looking for is already inside you.